Hey guys, Layla here and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing another How Many Pages Does It Fill? This time with Bianyo. Specifically their brush markers. And I've gotten requests for this one to see how many pages it can fill. So let's go ahead and see. As always, I'm using the Express blending card. I could use a different type of paper, but I want to keep it consistent since I've used this paper for all the other page challenges that I've done. And I'm just gonna take all the paper out. Might as well. Who knows? Might need it all. And I'm just gonna get right into it. Let's go ahead, start with page 1. And this is the color G025. And I'm gonna start out with my border. And of course, this is a marker that I have never used before. Well, no, I shouldn't say marker. This is a color I have not used before. So it is completely full, and this is a beautiful, vibrant, kind of like an emerald green color. Super pretty. And these markers were given to me for free in exchange for an honest review that I did a while back. And since then, I just play around with them myself because I really do enjoy them. And if you're interested, you can check out that review on my channel, or I'll just provide a link in the description below if you'd like. And that completes page 1. All right. Let's go ahead to page 2, and I'm gonna give the brush nib side a break and pull out the chisel nib. Chisel nib. One of the things that does bother me about this brand is the caps really don't match the color that lays down. And it's not a huge difference because most markers do have caps that don't match the color that lays down. But for instance, this doesn't feel like an emerald green on the cap, and yet when I color with it, it's quite bright and emeraldy, in my opinion. And so my passes are starting to get a little bit drier, so that's a little surprising. I would have expected this kind of by the 3rd page, not so much by the 2nd. But I don't know. It's not exactly quitting on me yet, so let's see what more this has to give. Ooh, so I actually put the marker down for a second and the ink came right back. All right, and we're coming down to the end of page 2. Not too bad, a little bit of shabbiness every few strokes. Had to go a little bit slower just so I didn't get too gappy. So there is a teeny bit of a difference between these two. So I expect page 3 to be just a little bit more streaky. All right, let's do the border. Oop. We're getting squeaky, y'all. We're getting squeaky. It's funny because in the last video I did, which was the Copic Wide on the How Many Pages Does It Fill challenge, the Copic Wide was just squeaky all over the place with the ink. But once the ink ran out, it just got super smooth and became not squeaky at all. And I found that surprising because usually with markers and chisel nibs, it's the opposite. The more they run out, the squeakier they become. Lovely. I'm gonna change to the brush side. And I've said in past videos that the price of these markers are about $130. And I got a comment recently from somebody who had bought these markers and they were like, what? I got these at I can't even remember the price they said, 80, 90, something like that. And I was like, that makes sense. And I say that because oftentimes Bianyo does do discounts. I think right now, despite the fact that they retail for about $129.99, as of this video, they're currently $90.99. And of course, they also have smaller count packs for less. All right, page 3 complete. So I got a little streakiness here and towards the end. In the middle, I pretty much really put a lot of pressure on my brush nib in order to get this ink out, and yeah. So definitely a difference between the 3 pages. So we're still not out of ink though. So let's move on to page 4. The brush nib is getting a heck of a beating as I put the pressure on it, which is normal and to be expected. Chisel nib side is having a little bit of trouble getting the ink out. Probably gonna have to, oh wait, no. there we go. I put the pressure on it. But yeah, as always, these videos are not an accurate representation of nib durability. Nobody puts this amount of pressure on their markers, and if they do, they really should not. But for the sake of this video, I do, because I'm looking to see how much ink is inside this marker. Ooh, definitely getting real dry here. The nib is like sticking to the paper. Like I have to like hold the paper down just to keep the paper from like being snatched by the nib. Oh, this poor brush nib though. I don't know. I think the side camera should be picking up the ridiculous angle that I've got this brush nib at. The cool thing about the nib is apparently when you're not abusing it the way that I am right now, it can be pretty durable. And apparently that's from the fact that they're super brush nibs, which Copic says they use the same super brush nib as well. So I'm assuming this is the same nib as the Copics. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought that was interesting. It's just a Japanese specialty nib that they make in Japan, which is basically two pieces of pretty durable felt put together, and then that has a shaft in the middle that makes the nib durable and keeps it from getting damaged too quickly or too early, in a sense. But clearly, with enough pressure, you can damage it. All right. So we're coming down to the end of page 4. Sorry, lost count. Yes, page 4. And I don't think I'm going to be able to use the brush nib anymore, just given the fact to what I've done to it so far. Yeah, it's about to like be completely like decapitated over here. Just like show it to you. Look at this poor brush nib. Okay, anyways, moving on. All right, we've come down to the end of page 4. Definitely a difference when we look at the comparison of page 1 to 2 to 3 and then to 4. All right, moving on to page 5, which I don't know, I think it'll fill. I'm gonna switch over to the chisel nib, see what I can get out of this. Ooh. Oh gosh. Oh, have mercy on me. Ooh, okay. Even with my heavy duty pushing, it's not really giving me much ink. I get a dry brush effect. So I've completely squashed the chisel nib. Yeah, okay. Let's see what I can get out of this. I can't color with it because the page keeps moving, because the nib just keeps grabbing it. Little difficult. Let me pull the nib out. I don't really know what I'm trying to do, but I'm just trying to like get the ink out without actually touching the nib with my fingers. Because last time I touched the nib with my fingers, it just got all over my fingers. But yeah, that doesn't seem to be an option. Okay, that's pretty much it, guys. I don't know. My hand hurts. Hand cramps. We're almost... I mean, we're technically about out, but I'm still getting some ink out of this, so... The point of this challenge is to get as much ink as possible out of the barrel, and that's what I'm trying to do. It's a little difficult, considering this is literally the bare bones of this marker, but I don't know, who knows? It may have more to give. Okay, this is a workout. So for all of y'all wondering how to work out without actually lifting weights at the gym, consider this, because this is ridiculous. However, how am I getting all this ink out? Like, I'm thinking to myself, okay, we're done, it's out of ink, and yet here we are. This page seems like it will fill. Oh my gosh. The marker wants to fill the page, but my arm does not want to do this anymore. Give me 1 second. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. All right, the page filled. So, I guess I'll count it. All right, huge difference. Huge difference. Let's try the next page. Because, I mean, it's still giving ink. And y'all know how this works. I don't stop until it stops. What the heck? What the heck? Look how much ink that is. What is going on here? How is it possible that it has that much ink left, and yet why wasn't I able to get it out before? I am curious indeed. Oh my gosh. Switching to the other hand, I am not a lefty, but at this point, I can be whatever it takes to get the ink out. Oh my God. And before I get all those comments of, this isn't even accurate. I know, these aren't really meant to be 100% accurate. In the end, what this is supposed to do is just give you an idea of how much ink is inside the barrel. And another thing is the fact that you probably won't waste all your ink in one go, like I'm doing, because usually continuous use like this dries the nibs out faster than the ink can kind of reach the nib in a sense. You following me? You know what I mean? So basically, if you were to let it rest for a day or so, then the ink would probably return and you would be able to get this last bit of ink out before having to toss it in the bin. Whew, I'm getting like this weird, like, I don't know, 3D, I don't know what you call it. That effect where you're seeing like double vision. It kind of looks like I'm getting a weird double vision effect. Getting dizzy just looking at it. I can't believe this page is gonna fill up. And that's that for this page. All right, let's do one more page. And I honestly don't think it'll fill this up, but I'm just trying to make sure that all the ink is out. So weird, I've never had this sort of crushed kind of nib, but still have this much left. It's a little bit interesting. I feel the more I do these, I constantly have something that just really surprises me. Like just when I think I've seen it all, it's like, nope, this is gonna happen. And it's really weird and I can't explain it all that much. Oh, okay. I think this is it. Yeah, this is pretty much it. I mean, I probably could kind of fill it with whatever it's giving off right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and call it. All right, I'm calling it. So we've got page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, 5, 6, and a quarter. All right, that's that. Can't close the cap because I destroyed the nibs. So, well, I took the nib off on this side so I can close this cap. Boom. And that was the Bianyo Brush Marker. I kind of expected a page or two more, but it did pretty okay. And the other cool thing is Bianyo has shared with me some discount codes if you're interested in checking out their products. They're in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. And if you did, maybe comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.